but maybe we can dip a toe for the world. If everyone dips a toe, many small rivers, incredible things are possible.
Yeah. When it comes to marketing also, music, for example, which is an interest of both of us, it's also a good way of changing the world.
So many ways you can help others, it's
There,
crazy.
there is.
Jag vill skriva musik ifrån mitt hjärta. Jag vill känna mina bördor lätta. Jag vill hjälpa mina bröder och systrar runt om i världen.
Hello, my name's Max Thorin. I'm here with Naseem Larsson, who is an expert in marketing yourself with film and visibility. And we met through a marketing network, and there we met because we have common interests. One is film, one's music, making the world a better place. And one of the projects Naseem has been working with is the Olof Palme Foundation.
Well, that was a really interesting project, and I was very happy that I had been visible enough that they actually contacted me. I didn't know who they were, but they knew who I was. So there you see how important it is to show your values and be visible with them, because nice things can happen. So it was an event where people from all over the world came traveling to Sweden to be educated here, young people, and to spread democracy in their countries. And it was everything like from Iran, Burma, Belarus, and it was fantastic. And I showed them how to, with small means, bring out a really strong message. And you know, like you are trying to make a change in the world. So
Och hittar en väg att gå på. Och hittar ett frö så något nytt kan växa fram.
Film is a great way of creating emotion and you know, just being here and seeing us instead of us writing something down is good.
Yeah.
And also like this environment here that we have chosen is because I also knew that you are kind of interested in water projects and environment.
Yeah.
So this is a lake here in Sweden, and we have an enormous amount of water in Sweden. There is water like everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's so natural to us. But my father, he was a civil engineer, and he worked in Africa and the Middle East and with water projects, water supply and sanitation in different ways. So he made me aware from an early age that water is not just a human right that everybody has, but you have to fight for it. And I saw that you on your channel also did some interviews about the Nigerian water project and so.
Yeah, we take it for granted here in Sweden, but not everybody has the ability to just pull the tap and have a fresh, smooth, tasty glass of water. And your father worked with that in Africa and in Oman, I know. So he built pipelines and
Yes, because of course, you know, there can be a big space between different lakes or, you know, water resources in places. So they have to build like pipelines to access the water. And if you don't have water, you can't get food either, right? So it's not just about drinking. It's about hygiene. It's about you know, and most of all about food. And you told me about a very interesting project regarding food and water.
Yeah. I was in Burma with my family some year ago, and it's this cool lake where they live on the lake, and they basically grow it on top of the water. They have like spikes of tree, and then on that it's like a little ground or earth, and on that they can grow tomatoes, aubergines, and other stuff that keep their society going. So of course you want clean drinking water without life in it, but also a lake like this might be a good place to grow because the earth needs nutrition and you want it to be alive, not sterile. So can't clean all the water, but
yeah, we've been looking here. There's a lot of life around here. There are like birds living here, and there are, you know, things growing here. Then of course it has to be the right thing growing. So you know also that sometimes the wrong things grow when there is a lot of pollution. So they actually get cleggy and disgusting, and then other life doesn't want to live there. So hopefully this is a clean one with fish and so on. But Would you dare to drink this water?
Maybe a little shot, 4 centiliters, but not a whole glass, thanks.
It looks like a very, it's all nature here when you look at it this way, but if you move the camera that way, you can see that there are, it's actually houses here. It's a kind of area where there is a lot of houses and cars and so on. So you never know. Sometimes things look good and it's not.
Yeah, like the Kalle Anka at Christmas when...
Oh my God, what was that? That was somebody swimming.
Might take a swim.
Yeah, some life in here. So we talked about
Yeah,
that.
it can be a beautiful nature environment here, but just a few blocks it might look horrible.
Yeah.
And that might pollute the area, living and flourishing and thriving like this.
Yeah. But it's a good sign that they choose to live here, and it seems to be their place. And I don't know if he's trying to get us to get out of here.
Yeah, he's like, get out of my living room, you weirdos.
Yeah, they tend to choose really nice places, the birds. So I think it's a good sign if they're here that we might actually maybe take a swim. What do you think?
Maybe not today, but maybe we can dip a toe for the world.
Yes.
And we were talking about that also, that you don't have always to do the big thing. You're like, the problem is so big, you can't solve it. It seems too unreachable. But if everyone dips a toe,
Yeah.
many small rivers, incredible things are possible.
Yeah. When it comes to marketing also, music, for example, which is an interest of both of us, it's also a good way of changing the world. It's amazing how actually, it can, in film, like Searching for Sugar Man, that film, with this guy who made music, about change and became a huge, important icon for South African youths. Because it encouraged them to make the changes there needed. So I was also very interested in apartheid. I was in South Africa at that time when there still was apartheid, and I still think it's a fantastic revolution. What happened? Okay, there are still some problems. I saw that on Facebook the other day. So of course, it's just to wipe it out in one go. It's not so easy, but still, and it's fantastic then how reaching people, like with music, emotions, and so on.
Yeah, video and music, I think, is the strongest way to really touch the heart.
Yeah, and I think that just helping people get in touch with themselves. That's why I love literature also, because the more people are in touch with their own feelings, the more they care.
Yeah.
Like about nature, and about if they're not just obsessed with money or a career, or they feel how they feel. Then they start caring, and so then they care about their families, about the nature, about animals. And so there is, of course, a movement today in young people, which I think is great, that with being vegan and thinking about the environment and how we grow things and all that. But anyway, I think that music also has it's a very joyful thing that has its own value. Whether you're sending a message or not, I just love it, and everybody in the world always loved it. The music has always been there, but now we can spread it and share it in so many ways, and it's not just for the big record companies. So I've been also promoting my daughter, Natalie Veronica, who's a brilliant singer, and she also really touches people. She has a very emotional voice, and I love listening to her, but I also made some videos for her and gave her some exposure. And
that went really well. I heard you just made a project and you put it up where?
Well, first of all, I started making small films of her, like she was singing in the subway and so on. But I created a Reverb Nation account for her, which is a big site for musicians all over the world. And but my small film started attracting people, so I attracted a songwriter that I knew from my childhood, and they made a really nice song, produced it really nicely, put it up on Reverb Nation, and I made what you called crowd review of it, and it got really high ratings. So it won a feature spot on Reverb Nation. So this is a worldwide thing. It's got 3.8 million musicians on it. And it became a hit. She got fans from all over the world, and she was at one time she was number 5 on the London list, which is actually huge feat.
Yeah.
So it's a great marketing way also if you're a musician to use film.
So she went from almost having no exposure, no one knowing about her, to actually being a little bit of famous, I would say.
Yeah, she's been getting letters and so on, and then now she was going to be introduced to a famous actually agent in UK through contacts, because it's a thing also when you can share and people can see for themselves.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, this is fantastic, right?
Yeah.
There's water in my bones. There's water in my bones. Over and over. Falling down. I wish that you were near me.
So it's so easy. I mean, I remember you told me also your brother was done music, so I went into his site. I saw a nice video, and I remember it because of the video also. So, and you do music too, right?
Yeah, my brother's, he's been fighting a long time, and he's really good now. And the videos, as you said, it's looked like it was made for maybe 100,000.
Yeah, it was a very good
And,
video he had. Yeah.
It's not that much,
No.
but
Yeah,
of course, it can do a big difference.
yeah.
He's called Nick Hammer,
Yeah.
and he also works with Victor Garrett,
Mm.
and they make music together since a long time. And my artist name is Max Thorin, old name that I was called when I was younger, but it stuck, and I started to like it.
Mm.
And I also put a lot of, I'm a thinker, so I put a lot of my thoughts and stuff into the music.
Mm.
But you also have to get the vibe, the feeling, the energy into the words. Otherwise, it's hard to get the message across.
Att även till de mörkaste rummen hittar ljus. Så jag blickar ut och vet att än är det inte slut.
Across. And if you have a video also that can really get emotion to the same thing, people can relate, and it just brings so much more value and inspiration to people that might want to put their message out
Yeah.
in the world. And that's why I made my site also, the Smilesgratitude.com, because I want it to be easy to put your message on yourself and wear it, and maybe find like-minded people, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, and I also think that my daughter also is writing her own songs. So we made a video now that was a lot more simple also than the first video we made. So it doesn't always have to be extremely complicated with 100 scenes and a lot of people in it. So but to show the emotion that the singer has is very nice with videos. So we just recorded it with her playing the guitar in her apartment. So but we did it nicely with nice lights and manipulation in the afterwards, so it doesn't look too ordinary, so but the point is that to show emotion, that this song means something to her. She wrote it for a reason, and it means something, and I think that's what people like, and authenticity.
Baby, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm not who you want me to be. I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't even know myself. I didn't know.
And also with a simple video, you might need help, because even if it's a simple video, it's also about the light and about the right scenes to get that emotion, and that's what you're doing, right?
Yes.
You are an expert in.
Yes. So today I teach people. So now I've been showing you also been filming a bit for my teaching
Yeah,
program.
it's been really interesting.
Yes, and you saw also how much preparation we actually do for something like this. So just finding a nice environment, which is, okay sound, and which connects in some way to what you're going to speak about is kind of important.
Yeah, and we had a funny little experience today. The universe really tried to stop us or test us. First, the car doesn't start, so we get here, and then it's a police investigation on the place that where we have in the perfect spot. But we found this spot, and you like this too.
It's pretty good, yeah. Sometimes you find even better spots when you have to be creative. So.
Yeah.
At one time it was started raining, when we were going to film. We were supposed to sit by the water. So, but we managed to find a cafe on a plateau with a little roof. And because it was raining, nobody else was there. So it was kind of nice with a view. And, so sometimes, the universe helps you. But I think also this was interesting, because I always say that even if you location scouted and think that this is going to work well, always have a plan B, always, maybe even a plan C, because when you get there, it's something has happened. It's totally different.
Yeah.
You don't even know. And this was so unexpected. There actually been a murder somewhere here.
Yeah.
So
it was like divers in the water.
Yes, and the unbelievable thing is that it was the exact spot that we chose. So it was,
so unlikely.
It was totally, police pants. It's like, what? Did they choose the exact spot that we chose?
But it also brought some excitement. So even though we had to rechange and stuff, you might, like you told me, if don't stop filming. Like sometimes stuff is good that you don't think is good when you're on the camera.
Yeah.
And like this, we might have thought, oh, that's a bad thing, but maybe now it's brings more to the action of the day and stuff.
Yeah. So exactly, raises the energy, as you say.
Yeah.
So
sad with the murder, of course.
Yes, of course. But it also gives the impression anything can happen, and that's a good thing too. Anything good can happen too. So you're about spreading positive messages, and that's the most important thing. So and you also have a site where you sell these t-shirts. I see you're wearing one now.
Yeah, this is we love the planet, protect mother, and everything really goes into it, because without our beloved planet we can't do anything really. And I used to work for Greenpeace and have some insights in the big problems we have, and also how much you can actually do with kind of little resources.
Yeah.
As long as you just keep on going.
Yeah.
And from being nothing, you can be something big in maybe not 1 month, but with time, being persistent, keep on doing, the right people will come into your life, and amazing things will happen.
And I think it's also about encouraging each other, inspiring each other. That's why we show that this is who I am and what I care about. It flows. It's a bit like the food at McDonald's today. How did that happen? That they have vegan stuff, and that they started showing how much what you call it, is it carbon, oxygen, or whatever goes into the production. And so that wouldn't have happened without people like you and me. Who put it out, our values, what we think is important, and we just go for it. And then if somebody thinks there's something wrong with it, we don't care. We just continue. So our mission, and then people start feeling like us.
Om jag måste sätta er det gamla ibland, för hur raska kommer liv, och en väg banal kan vända blad. Glöm det jag sa, nu är det nya tag. Natt som dag, om du frågar vem var jag, finns inga bra svar för tankar som jag har som aldrig kom till ytan.
You never know who you inspire.
No, exactly. So my daughter is like a vegan, so I'm eating more and more vegetarian and thinking more and more about it. So I tend to start making those choices also. If I end up in McDonald's or something, I tend to take that choice. So it does matter what different people do. And what I do too in my films, like I made a film for a startup in a CRM system, and diversity is one of my key values. Of course, that's why I think Olof Palme Stiftelsen heard of me. So I always display that. So even if it's commercial, I show people from all over the world in my film, all sorts of sizes and shapes and forms. But it's not like, oh, this is a diversity program. No, we're selling a CRM system. But we're showing people who are using it, which are professionals. And so we had like the sales manager was a Nigerian woman. One of the clients was Chinese. The sales guy was actually a man, but he was half Italian. Yes, so but we had people from all over the world in different roles, and I think that's also something that is a mission for me as a filmmaker, because I also do drama. I feel that the world is not displayed in the right way. And I also like your positive message, because I'm a bit sick of seeing people, drug dealers and murders and all the time. It's like I like kind of more, like searching for sugarman, happy stories that
Yeah, you mean like the newspaper when you go into ICA or something, you just see this person died today.
Yeah.
Oh, this horrible thing happened, because that's what gives a reaction, because we have so much messages, so it needs to be something shocking to shock us, and that's kind of sad, but that's one of the things I want to get that back, the kindness, the compassion, the inspiring things.
Yes, and also the positive example, so that you can be inspired to dip your toe. So I think that when you feel that it's so big, it's like, I can't do anything. What can I do? The whole world is polluted. Everything is terrible. You need to feel that, yes, but if we're many, you also get a vegan burger, and then, see what happens.
And that's a bit of the community. I want to reach people. For now, I can only sell to people within Europe. But I mean, when I get the t-shirts out, maybe they take a selfie, they can put it up somewhere, and I can go out and visit them, maybe inspire them, give them some tips, see what they're doing. Maybe with this Nigerian water project, I would love to get down there and see how we can help more.
Yeah, I think that a lot of the time, like for example, famous people, and you could become one famous people if you become a famous blogger or whatever, if they go to these projects and show them, like there's a girl called Yoga Girl in Stockholm, and she's become world famous. She does yoga, but she was abroad in a project and showing the project. So she draws people to the project so that they will be interested. So it becomes easier to finance projects.
Yeah, that's a little bit what the YouTube channel is. To, like for you, I want to make your brand known, so maybe people doing good stuff can use you and have services with you. Because it's hard sometimes. You sit there with your ideas and you're like, I don't know how to do this. But if I can do a little bit of common commercial to help people take steps from it can be, maybe you need personal development, or you're stuck with your film, or you would really need a singer or anything. Then it's easier, you can go there and just like, okay, I need inspiration. Oh, here is a person. Oh, I can contact them easily like this. So it's a little bit of a give and take, but also to not only help myself, but help others in that way. So many ways you can help others. It's crazy.
There is. So film is a great way, and I think also don't get stuck too much in thinking that you need a lot of expensive technology. If you use expensive technology, you do know how to use it. Otherwise, it's just a waste of money. But you can come a long way knowing just the functions on an iPhone or whatever, and how to use it. But as you saw also, we talked a lot also about the message before we got here. Because the whole point is sending a message. And if you're not sending a message, then it's uninteresting. It's uninteresting for me. It's uninteresting for everybody else. And so, and you have to work on that before also. So what are we going to do? So what we want to do, of course, is we want you to take action, right? We're hoping that you, we're hoping that you get inspired. So in so many different ways, maybe listen to the lovely music that we're spreading in the world. But
what was the name of her recent song?
God, I always forget.
Natalie, Veronica.
Didn't know myself.
Didn't know myself. So
that's a wonderful song about being young. I think it's very, very sweet, and for me as a mother, I got but I got a bit scared when I heard it the first time. It got me here because I got worried when I heard it. So it was a bit about like the angst that young people have today, and partying and drinking and it like that. I was, oh my God.
A lot of from behind the scenes come out from your life in the music.
And a lot of people can relate to that. A lot of music is about pain, actually, because people relate to that.
Don't you worry, I'm still young, I'm still
My last song that you can find on Spotify is called Blickar upp mot solen, looking up to the sun, and it's a lot about like thoughts of change and changing, and that you will find the light, and that it's hope for everybody.
Yeah.
Of course, it's naive to say, yeah, everyone can change, everyone can do it. Maybe some people can't. I don't know, but I really think everybody can change. But you gotta want to change yourself too. You gotta be.
But you can do like one little thing, like getting a nice cool T-shirt and show off your values. So
should totally get a cool T-shirt.
Yeah, because it may seem silly, but as I say, I'm a visibility expert. If you have your it's a bit like Nazis. They have their visibility signs, so they want people to know, and they want people to think there are more of them than there actually are. So that's what we want to also, to people to understand that this is a movement. We are a lot of people who believe in this, and want the world to be like that. And this is our goal and our vision and our mission.
Yeah, it's probably always going to be a negative side and a positive side. People want to do bad, people do good. Sometimes media says these people are bad or these people are good, and we're not really sure who's good or bad. And maybe it's going to be a constant war of good and bad, but that reason is only bigger that you should be on the positive side, helping us making the world a good place.
I think also this is a way of pepping yourself. If you're going to go around with something like that, protect Mother, Earth, like then you become a bit like, okay, now I have to do that. so it's a bit about also actually prepping yourself, with your own targets, and am I willing to live my values, and am I willing to show my values? Am I willing to live my values?
That's a big thing, I think, because I'm starting to see a little bit now, just me changing my life, that inspiring people, and sometimes you don't even have to directly trying to change them. They will change themselves a bit, and you can just throw them some small crunches, and maybe then they will tell you when they're ready, please could you help me with this, and you're like, yeah, of course.
So come to me if you want to market your business, and if it's a business that's good for humanity in some kind of way, so good for society, good for health, to make people and society feel good, basically. So even whether you're an environmental expert, a coach, or a musician, or whatever, so
we thought we would dip a toe for the world.
Yes, that's what we're going to do now. We plan it. We were thinking about actually jumping in, but as we say, sometimes it's better to dip one toe at a time and see where it
small.
gets you.
Start small.
Jag vill skriva musik ifrån mitt hjärta. Jag vill känna mina bördor lätta. Jag vill hjälpa mina bröder och systrar runt om i världen. Men ändå kunna tänka på mig själv. För utan er, vad gör jag då i en tom värld efter ingen som knackar på? Jag antar att jag älskar er, men älskar världen mig tillbaks. Tänker tillbaks på allt knasöden som gått i grav.
Okay, let's dip a toe for the world.
Woohoo! That wasn't so bad, eh?
Refreshing.
Yeah, felt better than expected.
Yeah.
So maybe even deep boat.
No, I think Naseem really wants to swim.
Yeah, I really want to swim. But how does it smell? Does it smell fresh? It has some kind of smell.
I think it's a little bit like the problems. They might not look so juicy to dive into first, but when you're in there, it's probably pretty nice.
From far, I thought it was more disgusting. Now I feel like maybe it's actually a good swim here. I see a there. So, well, anyway, I don't think I would drink it, but the swim, I think that would be possible.
And there is easy ways to clean water. You could take some of here and just boil it.
Yeah. If we were camping, then we might have to do it. So
that's why they drank so much beer, by the way, before, because they had to do this process with it, and that was the only healthy thing.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right. This was great. I'm gonna have to get up to standing and sit out for Oh, it's a beautiful place anyway. It was fantastic to meet you.
Yeah,
so
you too,
thank
Naseem.
you.
Thank you a lot. How should we end the video? What's our little quote or whatever?
Do what you can to make a better world.
Be afraid, but do it anyway.
Wow!
Ja, men det där gick väl bra.
Sanningen blev åk igenom staden, uppfyller jag kraven. Har jag rätt att ha en bra känsla i magen? Jag måste förlåta mig själv för om jag inte lyckas med det. Och att få er att se att änglarna som stiger ner har levt många liv. Och att komma dit krävde svåra val. De har simmat upp från botten på stormiga hav. Ser så lätt ut från utsidan, men från insidan var det blod, svett och tårar. Och många gånger man